Okay, looks like we're live. All the green lights. We got the microphone audio bumping around. Hello, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
Hi, my name is Risa.
And we are here from Naked and Famous Denim. And we are here broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan to bring you the greatest Raw Denim live stream this side, both sides of the Mississippi, in fact. So, prepare yourself to learn about things, have questions answered, probably some off-topic stuff. You name it, we're going to cover it. This is our community's weekly hangout right here on the internet, on the Naked and Famous Denim YouTube channel. Let's give the room a moment to populate here. It's good to be back. Last week I was in America Land.
Oh, you were on the way. You were like...
Yeah, I was in the sky. And we didn't do we had one week. We had a week off, but I was still on, if you know what I mean. Good to see everybody. Let's start off the live stream with a little like fest. Everybody, let's hit that like button. Let's get it out of the way right now. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're gonna check in with the chat. Hit that like button, everybody. Let's see where everybody is tuning in from. And let's see all the familiar faces we've got here hanging out here in the chat. Johnny Crumhorn, good to see you. BD writes, pumped for the hard and soft I picked up. Got an eelskin patch to swap at Dutil. Wife loves the band collar and the army green she got. You did a little bit of shopping there, BD. Good to see you. Yeah, I noticed. I think I've reposted you picked up the eelskin patch. For those people who don't know, over at Tate and Yoko, we do offer a leather patch swap option. So let's just head over to the Tate and Yoko website right now. It's pronounced Tate, but everybody calls it Tate. So I will.
And you call it Tate, so it's confusing.
Yeah, it's very confusing. So here, if you go to the bottom of the website, you can see hemming and leather patch customization. You can read how it all works. Basically, buy a pair of jeans, any jeans, it doesn't matter, and click on the leather patch options, and we can add any leather patch here to your jean. So if you want to change out the leather patch to the Brute logo, or if you want to have the like the natural, just the minimalistic patch that we have here. We also have a variety of tragic blonde patches. Some of these that we don't typically use on on production, like the gold lambskin, for example. We can swap those out for you. Or if you just want to buy a patch, maybe place it on a jean that you already own, you can order one off the website as well. So we've got a fair amount of patches, including some vegan options. We got an apple leather, so that's made from apples. And this one, we just call it vegan leather, but this one's a paper-based leather patch. So no leather in these ones. So if you're a not leather person, we've got options for you as well. So there you have it, everybody. All right, back to the chat. Rice W5, hello from Birmingham, UK. Good to see you, my friend. Melody Murray, hello from Tucson. We've got Little Juanito, hello from the land of Texas. Fantastic. Cameron Smith, are you both Tetsuro Yamashita fans?
I wouldn't call myself a fan. I like some songs from him.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I'm sure you've heard his songs. He has like the most famous Christmas song in Japan.
I see. All right.
I'm sure you hear.
I'm sure I've heard
during Christmas.
Okay. Can we all agree that Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" is the greatest Christmas song ever written, ever put to music?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I think there's no debating.
There's no debate. That is the number one
But in
song.
this country, there's different.
That's true. There are different people, but still, it still is the best, no matter where you are in the world. Jake Schneider, it's Turmeric Day in Ventura, California. Nice. Fantastic. The golden glow of the turmeric with the golden weather of California. We've got Xfex. Hi, more women's boyfriend fit, low-rise denim, please. I'm waiting to pick up the women's Elephant 12. All right. Thank you for the comment. If there's anything you guys want to see us do, always throw it out there in the comments. Now, we don't do everything that you guys say, but we definitely listen to the feedback out there.
Yeah, definitely. If more people are telling us what to do, then we're like, oh, maybe we should do it.
Right. Robert Eubanks, hello from Chicago. I think you and Brandon were in Chicago last week at the Merchandise Mart. We were there for a trade show called the Chicago Collective, and we got to meet up with a lot of our retail partners from across America. It was pretty much America was there. A couple of Canadians, but nobody.
Europeans?
No Europeans. But yeah, that was what I was up to last week. Flew out to Chicago, did the show. It was our last trade show of the season. So we started in Paris at the end of June. We had a showing in New York a few weeks ago, and then this is the last showing. So we're just about to wrap up Spring Summer 24. We call it booking season. So this is where we meet with our retail buyers, and they order what they need for their shops for the upcoming season, and then based on that, we do all of our production. So within probably the next 2 weeks, we'll wrap all that up, get the production underway, and then we will continue to do Fall/Winter 23 releases. We are already working on Fall/Winter 24, and Lord knows we'll be on to Spring/Summer 25 sooner than later. 25.
That's like a quarter of a century already gone.
Right? Remember the excitement for the year 2000?
That's very exciting.
Some of you may not remember the excitement for the year 2000, but I was very excited.
Everybody was excited.
It was the future.
It was an exciting times.
All right.
If you don't remember that, like, you're not going to experience it ever. Which is kind of like...
I mean, you might make it to the year 2100.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Unless you make it to year 3000.
Yeah, which hopefully we all do. Hopefully everybody in this crowd, we all make it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Year 2000. Anyways. Spring Summer 25 is just around the corner for us. Mm-hmm. So if you've got ideas, if you want to see us do stuff, throw it in the comments there. We're always listening. Okay. Arif, great to meet you at the Chicago Collective. It was great to meet you too, my friend. Carbon Coded, hey Bahzad, how faded is your Toxic Avenger jacket? I think you took one for yourself, right? I did take one for myself. Unfortunately, it's not particularly faded.
You're not wearing it much.
No. The main reason for that is because I work from home and I barely leave my home.
Also, denim jacket is such a hard thing to fade because it's like...
If it was Canada and I'm going to the office every day, then I could wear the jacket, right? But it's like I have a lot of shoes that don't get a lot of wear, and I have a lot of outerwear that doesn't get a lot of wear, just because I barely leave the house. I'm really glued to my desk.
Yeah. And you're not wearing a denim jacket at home. You might be wearing jeans at home, but you're not wearing a denim jacket.
Right. So I don't get to put in as much as I would like to on that denim jacket, unfortunately. And in denim jackets in general, it's tough for me.
Yeah, and you also have a lot of denim jackets.
I also have a lot of denim jackets. Just because I don't wear them doesn't mean I don't keep accumulating them. It's like with me with footwear. Like I buy a lot of shoes, and some of them, if they get worn once a year, it's lucky for them. Okay, Davy Boy writes, washed my new pair for the first time, and they shrunk to perfection. Then stretched back out. The slight shrink took them to the exact size of the weird guy fit. Okay. Yeah, I mean, your jeans are always going to shrink in the wash, and they're always going to stretch back out. All right, Davy Boy also continues. Now, think I'm going to order them in Weird Guy now because they fit to perfection the exact Weird Guy measurements. Live and learn, ha ha. Just remember that each Weird Guy, depending on the production lot, depending on the fabric, is going to measure out a little bit differently. To me, there is no perfect measurements, right? Because even the measurements that we have on the website, it's kind of an amalgamation of a couple of different, like we might take 2 or 3 32s, measure them, and then come to, the average between them. So the one you get might be slightly different.
Yeah, but the reality is, like, unless you're just enough room to, like, button your waist or whatever, then, like, just a couple, a half an inch off, it's not gonna really, like...
Yeah.
Make or break the fit, really.
I had a discussion with somebody at the Chicago Collective show, and this was a person who was thinking about getting into the bespoke denim business. And I hope I gave them some good advice. And I said, the advice I gave them was, don't do it. And I said that for the most part, nobody needs custom anything when it comes to jeans. There's no, jeans are not like a tailored suit, where, if you have to do adjustments on the back, adjustments of the chest, sleeve lengths, all that stuff. There's a lot of alteration that you can do to a suit to make it fit you just right. But jeans are such a casual garment that if they're just a little bit big, they're still fine, right? The way that you wear, they're not worn like you wear like a suit trousers, right? And the fabric certainly doesn't act the way that trousers act either. So the idea that somebody is so particular that, these measurements and all this stuff need to line up exactly for the jeans to fit them is, I just don't see that many people out there who are in that particular case. And I mean, the idea that maybe if you want particular details, like, you like the coin pocket like this, you like the back pocket shape like that, like you want to really design a pair of jeans for yourself, okay, I can understand that. But the idea that you need something made for you because you can't find anything anywhere, to me is a little far-fetched. And, I
mean, I'm sure those kind of people exist, like people who are very, very tall or like, very, very short. Although short's
usually not so much of an issue.
Like, I'm sure that exists, but I don't know if it's if there's enough of those people to make your business, like, worthwhile.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was funny because another thing we talked about was long inseams. And there was I said, almost nobody who claims that they need the long inseam actually needs the long inseam. Mm-hmm. Somebody else, they'll message and they'll write, I need a 34-inch inseam. I'm like, how tall are you? Like, 6'1". I'm like, you don't need a 34-inch inseam. Like, we got guys in the office who are like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". They're wearing our 33.5-inch inseams and they're long on them. Mm-hmm. Like, you really have to be basketball player size tall in order to have inseam issues. And they those guys exist, but the vast majority of people who think they need a longer inseam, I think they are overestimating what they need.
I can understand, like, I want to wear jeans with a cuff of a certain size and, whatnot. Like, that's fine.
Right.
But, I mean, we all have to adapt to the world that we live in.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Invest Ian's, any potential plans for an ecru strong guy? Potential always exists.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't think there has been any.
No, there's never been an true strong guy. That's something we can do down the line. I can see that. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting through. There's a lot of questions here. Topher Crowbar, back to the Y2K topic. All the hype surrounding Y2K and the computers crashing was wild. Yeah, get everything Y2K ready.
Yeah, that was such a thing
Wow.
to worry about.
They really scared the crap out of us with that one.
Yeah, especially because, like, I mean, I guess, I don't know, the information wasn't, like, as abundant. You know, nobody was, like, telling us who are, like, you know, kids, like, this is stupid. The world isn't going to end because of this.
Right. Although they were telling us the world was going to end because of this. I would love to see a movie where somebody took all that seriously and ended up in a bunker and stayed in the bunker for 25 years and came out and they were like, what is this world that we're living in today? That would be kind of interesting. What was that movie? I think Freddie Prinze Jr. Blast from the Past. Was that what it was? Was it Brendan Fraser, Freddie Prinze Jr. They're kind of interchangeable in my mind. But yeah, they just, I don't know. I feel like they filled a lot of like those late 90s, early 2000s movie roles. Like sometimes I can't tell the difference between Matt Damon and what's the other one?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, just they're...
To me, Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg. They're very, like, in my mind, they're similar.
Right.
Face.
Yeah.
I can't tell. But Ben Affleck is such a different face.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not the face, I don't think.
Yeah.
With your confusion.
Maybe. KMX, Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser and Christopher Walken. Right.
So what was that about?
So I don't remember it exactly, but he lived in a bunker with his family. I think they were worried about some kind of nuclear disaster. And then he was a young boy. And, you know, they built like a beautiful home underground. And then eventually he came out. I don't remember if it's...
Oh, and then he learns about the world?
Yeah, he learns about the world, basically. Like, here's the modern world. So that was kind of interesting. Although, I would say that the world... Has the world changed much since the year 2000 until current 2023?
Yeah, I think so.
We had cell phones, we had computers, we had the
internet.
internet.
But we weren't like this all the time. Like, now everything is like this. We don't have wallets, we don't have...
We have wallets.
Well, we could have wallets, but, you know, a lot of people, we just, you know, we don't have to even have keys sometimes. You just unlock on your phone. You pay with your phone. You take pictures with your phone.
Yeah.
Everything is about the phone.
I had a camera phone back then. I had a Sony Ericsson T68i with a camera phone attachment. Was that 1999? I feel like it was around then.
I had my first cell phone, which already did have...
in Japan, they definitely had camera phones.
Yeah, but I also didn't have a phone until, like, I was, like, 16, 17.
Right.
And that was not year 1999.
When did I get that camera phone? Anyways, I thought that was the craziest invention of all time. I also had a Game Boy camera.
Yeah.
That was my first digital camera, and I thought that was amazing. I thought it was just unbelievable that I could take a picture anytime I want, delete it, you know, even though it was made up of 4 colors of gray. It was just a fun little thing.
And you can often tell what you're taking pictures of.
If you're careful with it, you can be quite creative with that camera. Actually, I still have a few of them. Maybe I'll take some photos of it just to have some fun. But yeah, times have changed. Raw Denim hasn't changed much since then.
I don't know.
You know what? Raw Denim...
I would say it has.
It has in the sense that we have fancier flavors nowadays.
Yeah.
But like the standard 12-ounce dark indigo, that hasn't changed that much. Though I would say that at that time, if you really wanted raw jeans, you were probably looking in like the Western part of the store or hip-hop style. The
hip-hop had the raw denim. Yeah. But it had nothing to do with like, you know,
fading and like that was kind of the you know, looking back on that style, the rappers and that whole thing, they wore a lot of raw denim.
because it looked new.
Yeah, right. Dark
And as
indigo,
soon as
white
you-
stitching, real thick.
Yeah. As soon as you start to fade this, it looks like this
Right.
is not cool anymore.
Yeah, a lot of like the raw denim, like we kind of forget that part of it. Although it's not, it wasn't like you said. It's not like
It wasn't raw
it wasn't
denim.
raw
It was
denim in the
just-
sense of fading
Yeah.
it, but it was raw denim in the sense that like they were definitely wearing that crispy raw.
Right. Brand new.
brand-
off the-
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when the fading came in, you know, the idea of wearing these raw jeans to fade them, that came on a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was Clobber online, Pele Denim, right? There were a lot of brands in that realm. Right. Can you, C. Sanchez, can you remind us the next couple of MIJs? What are they and when can we expect them?
So the next one we're gonna release will be MIJ 13, even though we did not release MIJ 12 yet.
Right.
But we're gonna release MIJ 13, possibly maybe by the end of the year, maybe early next year. I don't know.
13, is that one on the boat?
No,
No.
not yet.
Not
but
yet.
it's done. It's
Right.
done.
Okay, so 13 probably by the end of the year. I know we have some. I know the mugs. We had a restock of mugs. Those are stuck at a port somewhere.
Yeah.
There's
But those would definitely be available pre-holiday time.
yeah,
So,
before Black
yeah.
Friday. So MIJ 13 is the all black version of the MIJ 10.
Which is the
Okayama Spirit.
one.
Yeah, so the Okayama Spirits, the MIJ 10s, are getting restocked as well, hopefully this fall, if not early spring. And then the MIJ 12, which will be out after the 13.
MIJ 10 and MIJ 12 will be certainly next year. Let me just say that.
Yeah,
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, we
because-
talked about it before, but there's some production delays out here in Japan, and it's causing us to basically, the MIJs will be ready when the MIJs will be ready.
That's how it is now.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's everybody. Yeah, it's just it's a little bit difficult extra for us because you know we don't have a continuous constant. You know, we're not making everything in Japan, so
Right.
that's kind of why we're having trouble. But I think we'll work it out. They will come. You know, they'll come whenever they come. I think that's fine. It's not so seasonal.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, some of it boils down to just production capacity here in Japan. A lot of companies are bringing their production back into the country as, you know, the Japanese yen is a little bit weak at the moment. So doing production internationally, just for some folks, it's not as lucrative as it once was. So they're bringing a lot of production back, and that's filling up a lot of production space here in Japan. And
Also, we had a little bit of a shortage of workers for a while.
yeah,
Yeah, so we'll I think they're, as an industry, they're fixing that, you know, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
We're still kind of struggling from the, you know, the effects of the pandemic and
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
I wonder how long we're going to be able to use that as an excuse. I know that this one is legit, but how long are we going to be able to say pandemic?
Well, it's just like certain things that happened to, like, you know, in the past, 3 years?
Yeah.
Like, it had an impact. The pandemic definitely had an impact. It could be positive or it could be negative, but so it's just like you can't change the fact that it had an impact for 3 years on every part of our life, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone ever experienced any ridiculous pandemic-related excuses? Sometimes I feel like I hear something. I like nothing comes to mind at the moment, but sometimes I hear something and I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody tells you that, oh, I'm closing up my business in 2023 because of pandemic, I'll be like, was it Or
Yeah.
was it just not?
Right. Or was it not working out in general?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes there's things like that.
Yeah. Like 2020, 2021, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, your failure is not because of,
Right.
your business, but I don't know.
Yeah. Cathedral Ring. Is it pandemic or is it due to so many brands going to the same fabric producers and needing access for the same shuttle looms?
No, so it has nothing to do with the fabric for us. In terms of our MIJ production delays, it's not the fabric, it's the sewing. So like we have been aware of like the fabric mills being really packed for years now. Like we're on top of it. We know how long it takes to
Right.
make a fabric. But the sewing is kind of like a new problem for us.
Right. Mike Knight, I used the I have COVID excuse like 10 times. Yeah. All right.
I have COVID and it's like, yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm not going to go because like my throat itches and I don't want to get anybody sick.
Does that one work anymore?
I mean, it always works, to be fair.
No, but like I have a cold was like, okay, like you could take a day or two off until you're fine.
Yeah.
But COVID was like, you need to take a month off. Right?
No, I think that doesn't exist anymore.
That's over, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Ahmed Ali writes, any fade pics of the Kiko denim? I want to see what mine will look like. No fade pics, but in the video there is like a fade gradation. There's a part where I show how the fabric fades. So I don't have any full-on like garment fades of that, but I do show how the fabric itself does fade. So you want to check out that video.
Yeah.
Stufu for free writes, do you guys ever plan on bringing an elephant strong guy to the market? I could see it happening. We once did, and then the production didn't happen.
Right. We once tried to.
Yeah.
We didn't do it.
It'll probably happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on where strong guy goes from here. Like
Yeah.
we do have a true guy coming, and that's a straight leg, so that might feel that.
The true guy might work for you, especially if you want a looser fit overall. Like maybe even just sizing, getting a little bit of a bigger fit in the true guy might work just as well for you than getting into a strong guy. Yeah. Okay. Giovanni writes, were those Greencast in your hands? Are those next to be released for fall winter 2023? I have the Greencast and I have the MIJ 12. So this is the two Greencast options coming from us soon. I wanted to do a comparison showing the difference between these, and you can see that they're both quite green. This is the Greencast Selvedge coming out for fall winter 2023. I don't have an ETA for the release date of these yet, but they are coming. And you can see just how green they are. This is a reissue basically of our, I think it was the MIJ 3? The MIJ 3, the first Greencast MIJ that we did. The difference between this and the original is that this one will be a Sanforized one, and it is going to be made in Canada. Whereas the MIJ 12 is a lot slubbier, as you can see. The texture difference here is absolutely, totally different. If you want a slubby monster, this is the way to go. This is going to be available
next year.
Yeah, next year. It was supposed to come out around holiday, but as we talked about, delays, but coming soonish, and they will be available super weird, easy, true guy denim jacket, and then our classic denim jacket as well, heritage denim jacket. So we'll have 2 denim jackets and 4 fits for this option here, and that same thing goes for all of the MIJs going forward. So a lot of MIJ action coming.
Yeah. This one's a lot lighter shade of indigo. It's kind of similar to like our natural indigo in the core.
Right.
But with a lot more character.
Yeah.
It's got all kinds of neps on here.
I just want to compare it to like a classic dark indigo, and you can see. So you've got a classic dark indigo, you've got the MIJ 12, and then you've got the Greencast. So you can see the difference in tone here. There you go. Greencast, not Dreamcast. Not Dreamcast. Dreamcast would be a fun denim to make. I don't know what that would be. You know, one time we were talking to Sega, and the conversation didn't get too far, but they like, you know, we were talking about like what properties Sega had to offer that we could maybe do some, you know, collections based on, and my idea was to do it based on the consoles instead of like, you know, Sonic or like these different characters. And
that's so hard.
It is hard, but not hard. I wanted to make a black denim jacket that said "Welcome to the Next Level," which was like a big ad campaign for Sega Genesis. Let me just pull it up so you guys can see. So I thought that this would be really, really cool. Like during the Sega Genesis, Sega CD era. What the heck? That didn't work. Hold on.
You're on the Chrome?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me bring up the other browserino. Okay, here we go. There we go. Yeah, so this. So, like, you would see this in all kinds of, like, magazine ads and things like that. Welcome to the next level. And I thought, like, putting that on the back of a denim jacket would be kind of cool. But I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah. And, like, when you put the words...
Yeah, it just is just words. I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to make blast processing in denim?
Yeah.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Remember these ads? You have to have been born in the 80s to maybe remember some of this stuff. Blast processing. Introducing Afterburner 2 and Super Monaco GP.
I just don't understand why, like, you know, brands and like do the like name the competitor in their ad campaign.
Yeah.
It's like you're giving them you're admitting to them that like, oh, you might think they're better. It just seems like
it's a very dumb way to
right, but it's such a like a weird thing. Like when I was a kid, I learned that like in Japan you're not really allowed to do that. Like there's regulations against like, you know, like saying negative things about your competitor in your ads. I don't know what exactly it is. It's a law or regulation. I don't know, but and nobody does it.
Right.
But like in America, it's always like.
Yeah. They're always kind of dumping on their
like saying, oh, this is different from Coke. And it's like, yes, but
it also seems desperate because in these things, it seems like it's always like coming from the second best.
It's like, saying like, we're actually better than this top guy.
Yeah, right.
It's like, why would you do that?
Almost always goes one way.
If you're a top, you don't have to mention other people.
Right. I remember there was a Game Gear, I think it was a Game Gear commercial, and Game Gear was like Sega's portable system, and it had a color screen, and Game Boy was, you know, monochromatic, and the guy like takes like I think it was like a dead squirrel or something he found at the park, and like knocks himself in the head so he can see colors in his Game Boy, and he's like, you don't have to do this, you can just play Game Gear. like a lot of these commercials were very silly. But yeah, back to that, like I'm sure we can contact Sega again, but I don't know what that would be. Yeah.
I think console, based off of console, is a little hard.
Yeah, it would be a little difficult. I don't know what a Dreamcast denim would be, as much as I am a giant fan of the Dreamcast.
The only thing I can think of is like, you know, just the grayness, like of the plastic and like orange.
Well, the console was kind of a cream color, and they had they had that orange circle. Yeah, in Europe it was a blue circle.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think there was a copyright issue with another company that had a circular type logo that was orange, so they made it blue. But yeah.
It's not even a cool logo, so it's like, what are you going to do with that?
Right. Pedro writes, what kind of jean would you do for a Pac-Man jean? Yellow weft Pac-Man boards for the pockets. Yeah, probably like a Pac-Man board for the pocket. I would do on the the Selvedge ID, it would be Pac-Man.
With the dots.
Yeah.
And then, like, Pac-Man every now and then showing up.
Right. So that would definitely be like a Jacquard Selvedge ID, like the Vulgar Selvedge with Pac-Man going down. Would it be a yellow weft? That might be, maybe. That's definitely one way to look at it. It might be too literal in that sense. I'm not opposed to it. But that sounds like how that gene would play out. The leather patch would be, probably I would try to find some kind of cool Pac-Man graphic. It wouldn't just be the gameplay on the screen. Maybe. It depends. But something like that. Okay. 916 Styles. I need the work shirt to release you were wearing in your sneak peek. Oh, right. In the fall winter 2023 video, just so everybody knows, we're changing the name of work shirt to overshirt because the fall winter, actually the spring summer production and the fall winter production, spring summer 23 and the fall winter 23 production, the fit changed. And originally I kept it under work shirt, but it's actually more of an overshirt. It is oversized. So if you get it in if you're typically a medium, and if you get the medium, it will be big.
Yeah.
The idea is that you should be able to fit like a hoodie or something underneath. If you want to wear it more like a shirt, you want to get it a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So just pay attention to the measurement guide on that one.
Yeah. Because we changed the name just so that you don't expect it to be the same fit.
Yeah.
So if it's named overshirt, know that it's not the same fit.
Yeah. Miss Ian's Mortal Kombat, especially with the MK2 movie in the works. Okay. I know that the only MK2 movie I know was the one that came out in, I'm presuming it was 98 or 99.
You were expecting
I'm looking at you.
Me to respond. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. Very disappointed with that one.
Okay.
I'm still upset over it. I went to the movie theater, paid my hard-earned no money that I had, sat down, and I was genuinely disappointed. Yeah, that's how I felt about the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. The first one, fantastic. If you've never watched the original Mortal Kombat movie, it's basically Enter the Dragon, but with Mortal Kombat characters. Great, yeah.
But it's
Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It was Mortal Kombat overload at that time. There was just so much Mortal Kombat everything, and they've realized hey, we've got a very hot IP right now. Just make everything. Make everything humanly possible. And
I don't like it when they do that.
Right.
Just space it up.
Right.
Guys.
And the movie was, as much as they tried to cram in every character they possibly could, it was just not as good as the first one.
Remember when you were a kid, you just didn't understand the concept of bad movie? You did not know that there could be a bad movie?
That was the movie that made me understand it.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks. I've sat through a lot of crappy movies as a kid, and I just, I could find joy from them.
Because you expect it to be good, because you don't, why
would they make something bad? Yeah, right. But unfortunately, I learned it with that one. Invis Ian's Blood Dye actually beat Juice. When we had the opportunity to do a Mortal Kombat collab, that was my idea. There was something called the Blood Root, and we could not get that natural dye done. And because of that, it kind of kiboshed the whole project, because I really wanted to make something bloody themed, and without that one, I wasn't quite sure what else to do. So, yeah. Who knows? It may happen one day, but it's it's not anything that we're working on at the moment. Still praying for the TMNT, but only from the original movie. I would love to do a Turtles collab. That's definitely high on the list of collabs I'd like to do. original cartoon series or the original first. Well, I would say the first 2 or 3 movies. The best is 1 and 2. I'm a big fan of. Part 3 it's okay, but definitely 1 and 2 were very entertaining.
Go Ninja, go.
That's right. Vanilla Ice, Ninja Rap. You got it. Melody Murray, Risa, will there be more women's band collar releases in different colors in the future?
I think for the season we released all of it, right?
Yeah.
Did we? Yeah, I think all 3 colors are done for the season. Nothing coming out for spring, but we'll see about fall 24.
Right.
I can't say at this time.
Yeah.
But I like that bit. I think it's a good bit.
Good fit.
So, yeah.
Cheddar Buttersworth, I love the 90s Mario movie, even though it was nothing like the game. Yeah. You've never watched that movie. We can.
They did come up with the new Mario.
They
movie,
came out with a new one. Yeah.
How's that?
I have not seen it.
No, but like.
I think people like it.
Yeah.
I think people like it. Yeah, the original one did not have a lot of fans.
Was it live action?
Live action.
Is the new one live action?
No.
Cartoon.
Yeah, it's 3D.
Yeah.
3D animation. The new one is sick. Something overdose. Okay, we'll have to check it out. Johnny Crumhorn, a black jacket with the Sega Tower of Power on the back would be amazing. The Sega CD, Sega Genesis, 32X on top. That's the Tower of Power right there. What else can you throw on there? You put on an X-Band. No, what you need to do after that is you put on a Sonic and Knuckles, and then you put in a Sonic 3, and then you've got throwing a Game Genie in there. You could really make that thing real tall.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a real Tower of Power. All right. Okay. Chris Karras writes, "What's up? I've been eyeing the Cerulean Kasuri recently, and so upset I wasn't in the Raw Denim game at the time. Anything similar coming down the pipeline?" Cerulean Kasuri. I would say that the closest thing maybe that will look like that might be the MIJ 12. Maybe. There's nothing quite like that one at the moment.
We're doing the Kasuri series in gray.
Yeah.
As snowy denim. Cerulean color-wise.
There's this coming out in the spring. So this is the Ocean's Edge Selvedge. This is coming out in the spring. It's going to be a rinse-washed denim-based
so
jean.
early next year.
Yeah.
But we also have in the JoJo collection, we have a Jolene denim, which is like a little bit more, on the greener side, but similar colorway as this, but with the slub texture. Right. So it might fade like Kasuri denim.
Right.
A little.
So there's some similar colors in the pipeline, so you'll be able to find something like that.
The Kasuri series is such a good series.
Right.
We should
redo some of those.
Yeah.
Stufu for free. Any update on the Halloween collab? The only update I can give you is that it is in the works still. What month are we in? It is August.
So yeah, it's coming up actually. We should.
Yeah, we'll probably have a sample by the end of the year. Probably.
Oh, Halloween.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
By the end of the year. Yeah,
maybe.
Or early next year. Yeah.
Yeah. 916 Styles writes, "I wore the Sakura Skies and the new flannel today."
Nice.
Great. Where are you checking in from? Is it cool enough for flannel season for you? It's still, when I was in Chicago, it was cool. It wasn't.
Some places don't get deadly hot.
In Japan, it's still like 36, 38 degrees every day.
No, not 38.
Yeah.
30, maybe 35 high.
Wow,
and it's very hot because it's humid. Like, it's not the same, like, it's not the same kind of feeling when you're like super humid 30, 35, and
Yeah. So like 100 Fahrenheit, like it's hot. It's definitely hot. It's maybe a little early for flannel season out here. But yeah. What's the difference between the Emperor and the King of Slub? The Emperor is an indigo denim. The King of Slub was an indigo by white, and then the Emperor was also a made in Japan jean. So
hence the Emperor.
That's it.
Because we never had kings.
Yeah. 916 says, I'm in Cali, but near Bay Area, so it was low 60s. Oh, that sounds like a really delightful temperature right now. A Kasuri with red cast and green cast threads. That could be kind of cool. A mix of red and green cast yarns in.
I wonder if you can see it so clearly.
That'll make an interesting jean. Okay, pending new name. Any fall release schedule updates? Yes, we have the herringbone denim coming up next.
That's on the 25th.
The 25th. And then
I put it as 24 on the website, and I'm going to fix it after this. But
we'll fix it. Let me just pull up. Okay, I just have my own little note file here. So on the 25th, we're going to do the herringbone denim. On the September the 8th, September the 1st, we're going to follow up with the Sea Island cotton selvage. And then on September the 8th, we are following up with the Elephant 12. So those are the next 3 releases coming up. So the 25th, herringbone, followed by the Sea Island cotton, and followed up with the Elephant 12. And that will include the ladies' classic. So the first ever ladies' elephant denim will be available in not too long from now, in just 1 month from now. So that's what's coming up. I'm just trying to think here. Somebody I saw in the comments in the chat asked if Sea Island cotton selvage was the same as Ultimate Pima, and the answer to that is no. These are actually 2 different varieties of cotton. Both are grown in America. The Sea Island, in the preview video that I made when I talked about the Sea Island cotton, I said that it was from the Caribbean. The origins of Sea Island cotton are from the Caribbean, but the particular cotton that we're using for this jean is American Sea Island cotton. That is the technical variety name. It's under the umbrella of American Sea Island cotton, a very luxurious, long staple fiber cotton.
Yeah, and Ultimate Pima is also a descendant of, or a variety of, Caribbean Sea Island cotton, like seed. Or, bloodline.
Yeah.
But it is a different cotton.
Yeah.
It's I mean, all the cotton, I guess, like, somehow connects to one or the other. It's like, people. But, this is a different variety.
Yeah. Somebody wrote, Calvin McDonald, Sea Island has launched at Blue Owl, if I am not mistaken. Yes, Blue Owl will sometimes launch things before us. We try to launch all of the fits all at the same time. And so just the way we receive things in our warehouse, sometimes it will get like a super guy and a weird guy, and then 2 weeks later we'll get an easy guy, and then a week later we'll get the true guy. So it doesn't always all come in at the same time. And so maybe Blue Owl might have only ordered like the weird guy, for example. Like we'll ship that out to him, and then he'll release it when he gets it. But for us, we try to group everything together, so we'll do one release, all the same fits, all at the same time.
Yeah. And we also like make sure that like everybody who wants, all the retail partner who wants that shipped, we'll get them before we have them, so we're not like kind of cutting them, short, or cutting in front of them in terms of releases.
Yeah, and then little Juanito writes, what about the all black comfort stretch? It's coming this fall. I don't have an ETA on it yet. But the vast majority of everything will be released between September and the end of October. So there's a lot in the pipeline.
And then we have JoJo coming this year too.
JoJo, and then the Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. So that's going to be coming out in October. JoJo's probably going to be coming out in September, October. So get your wallets ready, everybody. What we on our website we've got Klarna. Is it Klarna? Sezzle. Sorry.
Klarna.
Klarna is another one of those split payment.
I thought it was Karma or something. No, that's different.
Yeah.
Is it different? I don't know. I never used those.
Sezzle. Sorry. They're the good people at Sezzle. Sorry. But yeah,
so if we want to spread out your payments, do that.
You can do it.
Don't rely on that too much. I don't think. It's good in terms of like if we would just want to spread it out, but like if you're like, I don't know, if you're not in the position to buy, then don't buy it. I don't want to encourage people's financial ruin.
Right. That's it. Spend responsibly. Pedro, Sezzle sounds food related. It does.
It does. It does sound like a sizzle.
Somebody was telling me the other day, who was it? I forget who it was, but somebody was telling me the other day that they had met somebody. They were at like some kind of like, business mixer type event, and somebody was telling them that they bought a website URL, something like, blueberries.com or something like that, like a very common word .com, and they spent like 6 figures on the URL for their like marketing tech company, and it's just like, why did you do that? Like, if you go to blueberries.com or cupcakes.com or whatever it is, that's what you're looking for when you get there, right? Mm-hmm. Like I want to buy blueberries. If you buy flowers.com, I'm expecting flower delivery, right? I'm not expecting some like, wow, we're going to take your business to the next level type of product.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I get it if you are of a certain size, though. Like, if you're Apple, like, they can't not have apple.com.
Yeah, this is true for Apple.
Like,
Apple is maybe the only exception in the whole world.
Or Microsoft or whatever. But I guess, like, if you're that level, that recognizable, like, spending 6 figure on the website URL or on domain is not that big of a deal. No,
but if you're like if you're a non-company, like nobody knows what you are.
Yeah, then that's very silly.
Yeah, right.
Especially because like nobody's actually typing in like URLs, like, so it's not like you just Google, like you have to get on the Google, whatever, you have to have that in the URL, but it's still not like necessary as long as you
like you're not running commercials.
Yeah.
Maybe you are. I don't know.
Okay.
Pedro, got my money ready for the elephant tux. Oh, yes. Second elephant tux to my wardrobe. Some heavyweight denim armor there. Glad to hear it. Especially once the temperatures start to come down. I'm really looking. I just want some mild, cool temperatures.
Yeah, because right now it's really like
it's a sauna out here.
Whenever I need to step out, I'm just like, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, even when I like step out on the balcony, it's just like, it's a chore.
Yeah, it's really hot out here.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yap Coburg writes, Strong Guy restocks. Here and there, I don't have anything to report, but core stuff. If anything's sold out, it'll all work its way back. Yeah. Okay. Risa, I rewatched the Hard and Soft video where you describe fade types in Japanese. Are there other common things off the top of your head that you can think of Japanese instead of English? BD writes. Maybe Japanese terms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think for Hard and Soft, we talked about sen uchi and ten uchi, which is Sandwich is like when you see the vertical line, like the like warp yarns,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like a more like a rain,
Yeah,
or
or
like
something.
continuous like fade. Like you see more vertical lines, whereas tennochi is like more like a ten just dots. So like you see more of like a like dot fading. It's not such a like a vertical lines you see in the fade. So that's a term.
Hold on.
What else
Let's pull up some vertical fading options. So you can see here, this is like the slub stretch Selvedge, for example. A lot of vertical fading here, going up and down. The MIJ 10 is probably a good example of like a dot fading type of denim. Hold on. Let's just...
I think Tate Yoko maybe posted something recently.
Right. Okay. So you can see how vertical this denim is.
Yeah.
That's a slub stretch Selvedge, but like any kind of, like even the Japan heritage. Sorry, can you get that right there?
A great example of Senoji is left hand twirl. Left hand twirl, it's very vertical fading.
Like this is going to give you a lot of vertical fading here. You can tell. I mean, just the way that the slub texture is here. Right? Okay, so let's find some left hand twirl action. I'm going to browse around for a second, see if I can find some.
Yeah,
oh,
what
here.
other things are...
Yeah, I got to find some.
Yeah, what other things are Japanese terms?
You all know better than me. You know better than me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one to...
This one's...
Yeah, that one's
pretty good. It's
yeah.
just the photo's not super close up.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. There we go. There you go.
Yeah, so you see that like more dots.
Yeah,
like
it's a little more staticky looking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are some distinctive fade differences between like a dot kind of fade and a vertical type fading.
Yeah.
Those are my deep indigo rigid Selvedge.
Nice.
That pair right there. That's mine. That's like a skinny guy, size 28. That's my wallet, which I still thought, it's in my pocket right now. Same wallet. But yeah, I busted out the corner, did a little pocket fix there.
Nice.
There you go. Brian H. writes, what does Kihanen refer to? Can you use it in a sentence?
I don't know what that is.
We don't know what that is. All right. Pedro, how many jeans does Bahzad have on the wall at Tate and Yoko and NYC combined? There's a black power stretch. There's a dirty fade. There's that deep indigo rigid.
Sumi. You have
There's a Sumi ink. There's an indigo by indigo. I don't
think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. There's at least 5. There could be more, but at least 5. Yeah. Yeah. Those are mostly the ones that I just completely outgrew. Yeah. And then just seeing them reminds me of
good old times.
Thinner days. Thinner days.
Young Bahzad days.
Yeah. DC, we need Risa in Chicago next time. Much love to you, Bahzad. It was good to see you as always. Great to see you as always, DC. I hope you're having...
sorry, I missed it.
I think you're in Montreal right now. I hope you're having a good one out there. Okay, Chris Karras, MIJ 9 fade example from Tate and Yoko video was amazing. Yes, this is another thing I would like to talk about today because we launched a new series on our YouTube channel over here. So this week at Tate and Yoko, it's a new series that we're running on our channel, and it's just a little behind the scenes with our team here at Tate and Yoko, and they talk about their outfits, but they also did a great little fade review of Garrett's MIJ9. So You definitely want to tune into this. You definitely want to hit the like button when you get there. Enjoy another little look at what goes on here at Naked and Famous Denim. So
it's great because they have all the things to show off. So
right.
like they're very interesting.
So it started off as Terry and the team doing a little Instagram live. We used to do a lot of Instagram lives with you guys, and I mean that's how this YouTube channel started. And that content, it was great content, and the problem with Instagram Live is that it only lasts for 24 hours. So we figured, we might as well record it, dual record it. So we have the iPhone, and we have just our camera, record it, and then we'll put it up. So it'll evolve and turn into its own thing over time. But
I remember the days we would were going from Instagram to YouTube, or we're bridging. So we would have Garrett made a contraption that holds the phone this way and this way. So we'll have two phones and we hold it like this. Yeah. But it's just kind of we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Cut the nail go.
Yeah, more content for everybody. You can see what's happening, and hopefully they'll give you a little bit more insight as to what goes on there at HQ. For those people who don't know, Tate and Yoko is our flagship store in Montreal. It's attached to our office. It's attached to our factory. There's a ground level retail store. There's our warehouse, which we do all the pick, pack, and shipping for all of your online orders. We've got the main warehouse, which is all of our wholesale, main warehouse for all of our accounts. We've got a factory. We got the showroom. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. So hopefully,
got all of our offices. Do all our emails from there.
Yeah. So you'll hopefully see some more soon, and definitely leave in the comments of that particular video the type of stuff you want to see covered in next week's show, and they'll be happy to do it. So yeah, there you go. The new this week at Tate and Yoko show. This week at Tate and Yoko show.
A little more content.
Yeah. Bahzad, have you mentioned what shirt you have on? This is the lightweight 4.5 ounce lightweight chambray.
No, denim.
Oh, denim. 4.5 ounce denim. It looks like a chambray. I think we have it on Tate and Yoko. Let's find it. I think it's available now. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, no, it's this one. That's the one.
It's denim though. It's not chambray.
What can I tell you? What do you want me to say? So this is the one, and it's available, and we don't have a fit pick, which we should get on, but it's available now. Great lightweight, denim shirt that you can enjoy for the summer.
I've been wearing the country shirt version of that a lot this season. It's such a nice. Yeah,
there's a ladies version of it as well here. And you can get a close-up of the fabric here. But yeah, this is a very, very nice all-year weight fabric. It's 4.5 ounces, but, just the fact that it's, a classic blue, denim-like shirt, you can wear it forever. So I'm happy to have it, and I wear it a lot. It's very versatile. Everybody, whether you get it from us or you get it from somewhere else, everybody needs a shirt like this in their wardrobe. We'd like if you got it from us, but you know what?
And this is a good shirt to age too. It's not gonna have a fade, but it's going to
it'll
age,
fade out a little bit over time.
And a little bit on the the hemlines, the little seams.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
Yeah. Okay. Pedro, with you stating the back pocket embroidery isn't continuing on, does that mean that there won't be any embroidered jackets too? What you're talking about is embroidered back pockets like on our collaboration items. There'll probably be less of that going down in the future, and the fact that we don't do a back pocket embroidery on the jeans will mean that we won't do the embroidery here on the jean jacket as well. Though the MIJ jackets will still have back pocket and chest embroideries. It's just for the collaboration item. So instead, I'm going to focus on doing like custom buttons.
Yeah, but I think when we do a collaboration jacket, we tend to do something like on the back with, like chenille or something like that. And I think that doesn't really, like, when you're putting on something like that, it's not just a matter of like,
Yeah.
Oh, people don't like it. Like, if you're buying that, then people definitely like it.
Yeah.
So we might have something like that. It's just that I think, clean jeans with just one embroidery that really pops up might not be ideal.
Right.
I'm thinking. So.
Yeah. So you might see some, but it'll all depend on
Yeah.
on what it is. Yeah. Okay. Stephen McDowell, have you or would you collab with the band The Naked and Famous? You have probably been asked this a million times. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. In fact, literally right before the pandemic, their management team, somebody from their team, reached out to us to see if we can do something. And Brandon was actually headed to LA on a separate thing, but it just turned out that timing was going to work out. And like during that scheduled time, just border shut down. Everything shut down. And so that meeting didn't happen, and then we can blame it all on the pandemic. So I'm open to it, but the conversation kind of dissolved a long time ago. But yeah, I think if we're going to do any musical act collaboration, it certainly makes sense that we do it with The Naked and Famous.
Are they Australian? Something like that?
Or New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand.
New Zealandese. The problem is
They're not American.
they're not American.
Yeah.
I just don't quite remember if they are Australian or from New Zealand, and I feel bad if they are actually from New Zealand because the New Zealand people always get confused for being Australian, and it's kind of like Canadians being mistaken for Americans all the time. Yeah. Though I don't personally ever feel offended when someone presumes I'm American.
Same difference.
Yeah, to me it's the same difference. But I understand. I remember when we were, for Canadians in the audience who are of my age and generation, there was a big push, like media-wise, to separate ourselves from America. Like, we're Canadian. Like, and what that meant, nobody quite knew except for, hockey and, high alcohol beer. But there was like this just national push to be like, we're not Americans. We're not. And you know what the other thing that we would do, like it was like a big trope that you would see on TV was you'd have like some Canadian comedian going down to the States and asking Americans like silly Canadian questions like, what's the capital of Ontario? And somebody couldn't answer it. And like that was supposed to be funny for us as Canadians. And I'm like, no, it's actually funny for them. Sad. It's very sad because it's like, yeah, we don't care, right? Like you're so non-important that we don't care. Like, but I would always see these types of things where it's like, oh yeah, our Prime Minister Poutine recently, said this, and they'd be like, oh yeah, well that's a great policy. I'm like, yeah, do you not get the joke? Isn't that they don't understand that Prime Minister Poutine doesn't exist? Mm-hmm. Is that they don't care who our leader is? Nobody cares. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that's the same situation in New Zealand.
Right, we
don't know that.
Correct.
But it is a very, like, when you're very culturally similar, the power one, like the bigger one, would always be the main one that anybody else would recognize. So, the culture of Canada and America is so similar that from outside, it's all Americans.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think we need to get rid of that border.
Maybe.
Just become the same. There's no point. We eat the same food. We watch the same TV. We consume the same music.
Yeah. And you also already have Alaska. So
yeah. We celebrate the exact same holidays.
on different days.
Yeah, sometimes they're just on different days, but like it's all the same traditions generally. So I don't really quite understand why.
And I also find it like so many people just turns out to be Canadian. You know, like American like famous people. Like, oh, this person's Canadian. It's like, okay, well they all like live there. Like,
yeah, they all moved to the States.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing about Canadians in general is that I think because we're the smaller country, you get I don't know what it is about Quebec, but Quebec and in Canada in general, we produce a lot of like very scrappy individuals. I think in order to make it, you have to go else. Sometimes I feel like as a Canadian, you have to leave Canada to do what it is that you want to do. And so you become the type of person that does, they understand that I have to go somewhere else to do this. So I have to be better than everything else in order to make this work.
You already have this advantage of not being an American.
Yeah.
So you have to work extra hard to prove yourself that
Yeah.
you will be the best person for the job or whatever.
So we produce as very scrappy type of person. For those people who are overachievers in Canada, they tend to very much overachieve. That's just my thoughts on that one. Okay. Topher Cobra writes, there was a funny episode of Flight of the Conchords where Jerome and Britt were discriminated against because a vendor thought they were Australian instead of New Zealanders.
I did not understand that sentence.
I've never seen the show.
Yeah.
And it seems like a silly thing to discriminate someone for.
But it's like in what was that show? How I Met Your Mother. Like Robin was the Canadian, and she continued to be made fun of for that. That was just like the running joke, which is like I don't know if it's a joke, but it's just how it is.
I think there was a lot of Canadian tropes. I remember in The Simpsons where there was an episode where Homer got a new job. I think he was working for the character was Scorpio. Anyways, it turned out to be like some evil corporation. But the boss was really nice, and Bart and Lisa went to a new school, and the new schools were like semi-amazing. But Bart got put in like the remedial class, and there was a slow kid from Canada, and So Canada's often the butt of everyone's jokes. I mean, especially in South Park and things like that. Topher Cobra, in the show they are musicians from New Zealand trying to get their music career off the ground in America. All right. Chris Knoll, America, Canada's Mexico. America, Canada's Mexico.
No,
I don't think so.
It's not that way.
Yeah. Green Tea Kit Kat writes, Canada is just America's hat. That's more like it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Chris Knoll, right? Americans watched Strange Brew as if it was a documentary about Canada. I believe it is.
What is it?
Strange Brew, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Oh, yeah.
That I think that was like a very
documentary.
That was a documentary on Canada. No question about that. Yap Coburg writes, will Bahzad ever cut his hair? Maybe one day. I don't know when, but maybe one day.
All right.
Hank Drew writes, I have long ape arms. Any chance of a triple XL in jackets? Probably
not anytime soon.
Yeah. If there's enough demand, then maybe, but
we
not
barely
at the moment.
sell double XL.
Yeah. Okay. I just finished 10 nugs from Burger King. Time to hit like. BD, I just finished 10 nugs from Burger King. Time to hit the like button. Right. It is time to hit the like button.
Yeah, wipe your fingers first.
Yeah, wipe your fingers first. Rub off that, nugget oil.
on your jeans.
Yep, on your jeans. It helps enhance the fades. And hit that like button, everybody. Now's a great time to do that. Speaking of Burger King, Japan had some very interesting Burger King options that we discovered the other day.
Yeah, so it was a Tom Yum burger.
Yeah.
So it's a Whopper with shrimps.
Yeah.
And some like Thai like
flavoring.
a sweet spice
Yeah.
kind of sauce on it. And yeah, that was fine.
Yeah. It was just an odd
Yeah. I like
flavor combination.
I like shrimp and burger. It's like surf and turf, you know. You still get the nice, beef taste, Whopper taste, but with shrimps. But like that sweet and spicy, I guess, kind of sauce. I don't know. I could live without
it.
Yeah.
Tom Yum burger. Very odd combo.
I was very excited though because I love Thai food.
Right.
And
We do
I
love Thai
shrimp.
food. Okay. Ethan Brass, Gradient Core Fades finally appeared after 4 months of straight wear, purchased in December. I'm glad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that was a harder one to fade. Like, it takes a long time to fade, kind of.
But once those fades start coming in,
Yeah.
you are definitely going to start seeing them more and more.
Yeah. Once you break the wall, like, you're there.
That's it. For those people who don't already know, the next elephant denim after the one for fall winter 24 elephant, red core elephant. So we're taking the color core series and we're bringing it to the heavyweight denim. That's it.
Yeah.
So we're working on that right now. So that's a very big color core option to look forward to. Venomous Teddy Rice, does Japan still have the McDonald's Gohan burger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they do, like, I don't know, like, they do bring it back every now and then. I think they recently brought it back, and they only do it for, like, after 5 for some reason. It's like a night menu.
Uh-huh.
But I love those.
Yeah.
Those are, like...
So it's instead of a bread,
Yeah.
it's rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people, recently somebody, like, got confused that, like, you would have rice in between, like...
No.
buns.
Yeah.
But no, like, the buns are the rice. Like, it's kind of like onigiri, but it's sandwiched.
Yeah. And, like, the rice doesn't break apart so easily.
No,
like,
they like, really...
smush it in there.
Yeah, and they like, bake it like that.
Yeah.
So it's like a... It's like a... bun. Like, it's shaped like
Yeah.
a bun.
It's not dry like a rice cake, but
No.
it is
Although that would
formed
be
like a
kinda
rice
cool.
cake kind of shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is quite a neat.
And it's very, like, it's more filling. It's heavier.
Right.
So I think it's a good item.
All right. Yeah. In Chicago, I learned that that's where the McDonald's world like headquarters is, and they have something called Hamburger University there, which I actually learned about Hamburger University in general as when McDonald's launches, into new regions. This is like their training school and like how
I knew
everything
about that, too.
operates.
Yeah. I didn't know it was in Chicago.
But they have a kitchen there, like like an internal restaurant where they have options from around the world. And I don't think they have a Gohan burger there, but that would be kind of neat if they did.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also like the fun of traveling sometimes. You just like...
the regional the regional menu.
Yeah.
Like for example, in all Canadian McDonald's locations, you can get poutine. And if you don't know what that is, that's a Canadian delicacy, originating from French Canada, of French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. And every Canadian knows what this is. A lot of Americans don't know what it is. It seems like that it's a food that really hasn't emigrated south.
I had poutine in like a restaurant, like kind of like a hip new restaurant. Like they charged you like $17 for an appetizer, but it was like poutine and stuff like that. So I knew about it, but I didn't know the extent of Canadian love for
BD. Poutine is life. Poutine is life. Let's For those people who don't know what it is, let's.
It's also weird that American. Oh, we got a subscriber.
A new subscriber, fantastic, Connor. Thanks for joining the family here.
But yeah, I it's funny how that video.
That one, okay.
It's funny how American didn't like really take this over.
Yeah, it seems like a very.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Although cheese curds might not be so.
Yeah,
readily
but
available.
Wisconsin and stuff like that, there's a lot of cheese curds in America.
Yeah. And I'm sure they would love a way to consume that.
Yeah, and so in Canada, every McDonald's has Poutine, and every fast food restaurant in Canada has Poutine. Mm-hmm. But it would be hard pressed to find the American version of that same fast food restaurant having this. Probably not something you'll see.
If we were into food business, we would open up a Poutine restaurant.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
Or Poutine stand, something very casual in Japan.
Yeah, they don't have it in Japan, but I think it would do well.
Yeah.
To
be fair though, Gohan Burger started off at Moss Burger, and then he took, McDonald's kind of imitated it. So I guess like maybe other restaurants should.
Yeah.
And then make it a whole national thing.
Yeah. Alec B writes, just curious why you guys chose to live in Japan versus North America nowadays.
Well, I mean, I moved to Canada to work at Naked and Famous and to live with Bahzad. Mm-hmm. I lived there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And so we just thought maybe it's fair to live in my country next. But it's also like, part of it was that, obviously we have access to more it's easier to do fabric meetings. Mm-hmm. It's easier to get around that. So that's part of it too. We have a family support here.
Yeah. So it's more of a family decision than anything else. But but it works because it's not like some random country that's that has nothing to do with the business. Right. So it does work out quite well, and I admit it. I love it here. I think it's great. I think you all should move here. Everybody in the chat right now, come to Japan. It really is a nice place to live. I have to. If you've never visited, visiting here is great.
But
living here is
great because beyond all of the fun things that you might experience as a traveler or you see on YouTube and stuff like that, those are good fun, but those get old really fast.
Yeah.
I think Bahzad can attest to that.
Yeah, certain things, sure.
But I think in general, it's nice to live in a country where everything is relatively clean,
safe, affordable.
And very affordable. Mm-hmm. People might think Tokyo is expensive, but Tokyo is a massive place that you have access to, all the convenience of central Tokyo by not living in the, in the belly of it. You can live outside, easily accessible from central Tokyo, but a lot cheaper. And there's a lot of affordable food, affordable everything available. Because
the metro system is so vast, you can live in an affordable area and then just, if you want to be in the ritzy, glamorous part of Tokyo, you can go. If you want to be, in the hipster part, you can go. Everywhere is easily accessible to you within not a lot of time. And so I really like that aspect of it. The cleanliness, I have to say, is, when you visit Japan, it might seem like a novelty because you get here and you're like, wow, it's so clean here. But when you start to live here and then you go back to where you're from, unfortunately, the reverse culture shock hits and you're like, why is this like this? And why is this like that? And, just another thing can be a little annoying about Japan is, there's a lot of bureaucracy, but everything kind of works, right?
Mm-hmm. Because everybody follows the rules.
Everyone follows it. The train is on time. The person who works at the the Metro, like, they would never give you attitude. Like, or even, you go to the airport and, like, the person who's checking you in at the counter, like, the idea that they would give you attitude for anything would be ridiculous. Like, it just wouldn't happen. Whereas, I might be somewhere else and I'm checking in and I don't want to, be that guy, but, like, I've got gold status, so, like, but, like, sometimes you go into these lines and you're still catching, like, there's just sometimes it's the way somebody talks to you and you're like, I'm not being rude to anybody, and so why am I getting it, immediately? Yeah. Whereas in Japan, like, the customer is king, and it definitely shows. So I'm just very happy to be around this all the time, where people are respectful of one another, and customers treated like the customer. Yeah. And and that's not to say that, like, people are disrespectful. I'm sure people are disrespectful to staff, but I don't think that it's in the same way. Like, if you don't give it, you don't get it. Like, so anyways,
it's like, I mean, there's negatives and positives. Obviously, like, it's not a flexible country. Like, you cannot, charm your way into, getting what you want or anything like that. But on the flip side of it is that nobody's gonna, like, the rule. Like, yeah. It's written. Like, it's, what they expect, and they 100% of the time follow it. So it's like, okay, yeah. Like, it might be annoying sometimes, but at the end of the day, we find, like, personally, we find that to be a better way of living. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
And just affordability-wise, like, just my grocery bill is not ridiculous. I was in the States, and, like, you want to buy, like, a bottle of soda, or, just something to drink, and it's like $2.99, $3.49, like, American. Like, that's a lot of money. Whereas, like, over here, like, you go to any convenience store and, like, a bottled drink, whether it's, like, iced tea or soda or something, it's, like, usually under 100 yen. Oftentimes it's under 100 yen, like 88 yen, under 100 yen, which is, like, 60, 70 cents American. So, like, the value that you can get here is quite good. So,
one last thing. Yeah. It's also, like, when you go to the airport, like, the price of a bottle of Coke is the same as the price of bottle of Coke at a convenience store somewhere else. Like, it's just,
it's not, they don't try to $6.99 for a bottle of water.
I hate that about America.
And the same thing goes at the stadium. Like, if you ever go to a sporting event, like, the beer or whatever it is that you're getting is going to be, like, the bar price.
Yeah, so it's not a grocery store price, but it is, like, a price, like, a $5 for a beer. Yeah. It's never...
Or, like, 500 yen for a beer, rather.
Well, right.
Right, which is, like, $3.50 American. Yeah. Whereas, like, if you go to, like, a game, like a hockey game in Montreal, it's going to be $21 for that beer. And then another $20 for the popcorn.
Yeah. And what else are you going to do? Like, you got to enjoy it, but it's...
And in here, if you want to bring outside drink...
Sometimes. It's not 100% of the time, but some venues, some events, they allow you to buy a, can of beer at the convenience store outside, because a convenience store beer is 200 yen or whatever. Whereas, like, restaurant or stadium beer is 500 yen. Yeah. So you're still, like, more expensive there. So they let you bring in a beer.
And they will give you a cup that you can pour your drink in, and then and a place for you to put your can.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I could never imagine this happening in the West ever.
Yeah, I wonder why they do that. Yeah. That is a mystery to me. But
yeah. Pedro, I worked retail for 16 years and got stepped on and spit on, metaphorically speaking, and that meme made me think about all those times it happened. I worked a lot of retail also, and I have to say that generally speaking, I've had a pretty good run. I mean, I had creeps and things like that every now and then, and the unfortunate part is that, like, those types of interactions tend to stand out the most because, number one, they're negative, and negative things tend to stick out, and they're so rare. Depends where you work, obviously. I worked at a pretty upscale department store, so, people being overly rude or, like, pushy didn't really happen to me very often.
I also feel like at, high upscale, establishments, people who are rude probably spend a lot, and that's why they're rude.
Oh, I find it's the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah. It's the people who don't spend as much, who think that they have to be like this pushy person.
Because they're spending a certain amount?
Yeah. They feel like they've earned the right to be pushy, and like, whereas like the nicest people were really often the people who would drop like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week. Like the people who are coming in spending like crazy amounts of money, they would just, what's new? Oh, great to see you, blah, 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 take that, and they're just pointing at stuff and like, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's go. But yeah, they were always very kind people. Yeah. I've had, D-bags before, but the regulars who were spending a lot, they spent a lot, and they were always very pleasant. Yeah, it was always weird to like encounter these types because it's just like, you have a lot of money. Like it's like I remember there was this one lady who was like legit in every week, every other week, spending like $3 to $5 every time she came in. Just everything new. She pretty much bought it, and she was just killing time. Like this was just killing time money.
Yeah.
And I could only imagine what like, a thoughtful purchase for her was gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure those people have like people that are just coming to them with like more high end stuff.
Right. E&M, it's worse than now. Beers for our local college are upwards of $15 a pint, at least at football games. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's a lot of money. $15 American is a lot of money. It is a lot. That is
like over 2,000 yen.
Yeah.
That is like double our minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah. E&M, I work in the booze business. People who have money always so rude compared to regular everyday customers.
I guess it depends on
it always depends. Yeah. Is it possible, BD writes, is it a possibility to pop in Japanese character words with English phonetics of keywords in new release videos? Sort of like a subtitle. It would be cool to be schooled. Sorry, I think that comment went away. Okay. You can put that one in again. BD, you've told email stories. People need to be much kinder, like the latest Tate meme. Yeah. Email is another story.
Yes.
I'm sure nobody here is guilty of this, but I think in emails people don't really understand the value of writing a kind email.
I don't know. I feel like people do. It's just the negative
right, I guess you're
ones
right.
really stand out.
The negative ones definitely stand out. It's usually one or two people a week who make
out of hundreds.
Yeah,
it's not like a common thing.
That's true. It's a couple people who really stand out, who are very disagreeable in terms of, they are unbelievably offended by the fact that maybe the jean wasn't the right size or maybe we shipped them the wrong item. Mm-hmm. I understand, the jeans don't fit, maybe we screwed up. Whatever it is, we're always going to try and find a way to make it better. But the expectation of like this needs to be fixed literally right now, and on top of that, I need just a world of compensation for like they have presumed that they have won some lottery that now entitles them to everything. Just absolutely everything. Like, you screwed up, so I'm going to need I'm gonna need the deed to the company. Like you screwed me over so badly. Like you don't understand. You sent me the wrong size. Now, in order to make things even Steven, the company's mine. And like obviously that is ridiculous. But sometimes like the request, on top of like we're gonna send you the return label for obviously for free, and here's the replacement, and here's maybe a discount code for whatever. Yeah. It's just like that's not enough. Nothing will ever be enough.
Have this for free.
Yeah.
I could also have the next 5 pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna buy from you for free. Like at that point, like we're like we would much rather you shop somewhere else. Like I hate to say it, but it's like to a certain point, like we're humans working behind, so there's gonna be a mistake, and if you can't accept that, then we don't want you as a customer.
Yeah, really, I'm happy to say bye-bye if
we invite you to shop somewhere else.
Yeah. But we definitely try to rectify any situation. We never leave you high and dry.
Yes.
So
and we do own up to our mistakes. Like it's not like we're humans, so we make mistakes. So that's fine. Like that's not what we're saying. We're just like, but it does happen. It's not a perfect world.
It's not a perfect system. It happens. It happens no matter how big or small you are.
And when it does, we try our best to make it right, but we're also not going to be pushed over to the edge of our detriment.
Yeah. Ian M. Some people get disappointed and take it to a whole other level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
I mean, I understand it's frustrating when it's
Yeah, but sometimes people do this. The one thing that annoys me the most is like when there's a problem, in their email, they don't say what they want, right?
Yeah,
they're like, hey, this is the wrong size. What can we do about this?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, like, here's
what
we're going to do. And then, like, we'll send you a return label. We're going to get you exchange, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no. And then, like, after that, it's like, no, that's not enough. And it's just like, why don't you just tell me what you want in the first place? Like... But that one happens all the time. Never, like, if you're ever going to write not just to us, but anywhere, let the person who's reading it know what you want, right? Hey, I received this. I ordered this. I was hoping, can we initiate an exchange? So blah, 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 right? Not, there's a problem with this. What are we going to do about it? And it's like...
Because then it would have to be back and forth, and neither party is happy. It will take you longer.
And I can't mind read what you want. Right?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about this? I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah. And the longer it takes for you to fix this problem, for us to fix this problem, you will be more annoyed. And I understand that, but it's not really like our fault if you're not direct with us.
Right. There was a question. I'm trying to find it. Because I know that there is some confusion. I want to find the question specifically. What
was it about?
It was about who owns and runs the company.
Oh.
So, I don't know where the question was, but somebody asked, and they were like, who's the owner, who's running it? Is it Garrett? Is it Terry? Like, what's happening here? So, a lot of people presume that Risa and I are the owners of this company, Naked and Famous. We are not.
No.
We simply work here. I've been working with Brandon, who is the owner, since practically the beginning. So
practically since the beginning. Period.
Well, there was a couple of months of the start of the company that I did not actually work there.
Oh, no. I mean, it meant, like, Brandon has been the owner since the beginning.
Brandon has been the owner of Naked and Famous Denim since the very beginning. I was his first employee, so I've been around the block a few times.
Maybe like a year into it?
Yeah.
Business?
Just about a year into it.
Yeah.
So... I guess because I'm much more forward-facing than he is, a lot of people make presumptions about that, and it's not the case. So, Reese and I, we work for the company, but we don't own anything or anything like that. And same thing with Garrett and Terry or anybody else that you see.
We're all employees.
We're all employees of the company. Garrett is the manager at Tate and Yoko. Terry runs the warehouse at Tate and Yoko, so you'll often if you send a customer service question, maybe Garrett or Terry or we've also got a couple other staff that you saw in our video. Like there's two Vinces.
Yeah.
We've got Vince and Vinny. Vinny's newer. But we for anybody who is confused about what we do or what our positions are, Brandon's the boss. He is not on camera so much, but he did just get on Instagram recently, so you can find him. Hold on, let me pop him up so you guys can see. He posts tidbits here and there of interesting Naked and Famous Denim stuff. So you can see here. This is us over at the Chicago Collective show. Hey, look, I'm wearing basically the exact same outfit. Yeah. He like the Naked and Famous Denim baseball gloves. So he talks a little bit about the history of some of the stuff here. So follow him on Instagram.
He just got on it.
So there's not a lot of posts yet, but it's coming along. But that Brandon is the boss. Brandon Svarek, founder, designer of Naked and Famous Denim. Okay. Hopefully that answers some questions there. Milo, all right, thanks, LOL. It was worth asking. I mean, it would...
it was about...
it was about a heavyweight denim. Okay. Milo's original question was, are 20-ounce jeans good for winter, or will they get stiff hard to walk in? Wondering if the Elephant 12 will be cozy in the winter.
I mean, it will soften up and it will be cozy.
Yeah. Venom Steady writes, all jeans get softer with wash and wear. Yeah, they will soften up. I mean, they're not going to get, like, stiffer with the cold and become, like, an ice pant.
Unless it becomes ice pant. If
unless they're soaked in water.
Yeah. And then you hang it outside and, below zero.
Venom Steady exactly says that. They shouldn't get stiff in the cold unless they get soaked with water and freeze. Yeah, no, you can wear them like regular jeans. They're just gonna feel like burly and heavy.
Yeah.
And they'll help cut the wind when it gets really cold on those cold windy nights. Cool. Ian M. I used to work clothing retail, and one time I had a customer come in with a belt that he had probably worn for a year and broke it. He wanted us to replace it for free.
Oh, that happens all the time. That happens all the time with us.
It even happens at Tate and Yoko, where you might get a crotch blowout or something, and like the email will start. I've been wearing these for 11 months every day straight, and I haven't washed them. And you can see here that the crotch is ripping.
I spent $200 on this pair.
Yeah, and I've had jeans from the mall that I've had for 15 years that I've never done this before. This is unacceptable. This is a defect, and I want basically my money back. And I'm sure all of you people in the chat might understand all of the problems with this email, but yeah, it happens. It happens. There certainly is the type of customer whose expectations of a product is so out there that I have no idea how specifically for jeans that they've come up with this idea, right? Like, we talk about wear and tear. You're going to wear your jeans, you're going to fade your jeans, and this is all part of the process. And the idea that like crotch blowouts is somehow just a straight up defect instead of, part of wear and tear in life, especially when you tell me that you've worn them for months and months on end every single day. I'm like, try that with any other garment. If you're wearing a t-shirt and you wore that t-shirt every day for a month, are you telling me that you would not expect it to have certain things happening to it? Mm-hmm. Right?
Well, it's just, it's also like there's a basic, like, understanding of, like, not understanding, but, like, delusion of that. Like, if you spend, like, say, $200 instead of $59 on a pair of jeans that should last like 4 times longer because you spent 4 times the amount or whatever. Like that's not how it works. It's all jeans. It's all cotton. And it's just kind of the quality and there's certain things that makes the price what it is, but it's not that like it's not a simple math of I spent twice as much, so it should last twice as long. Right. Like that's not how it works. Like you're not wearing it the same, you're not treating it the same. But it's also that like even if you are, like that's not a math.
Yeah. Little Juanito writes, "Hey, I bought this car 10 years ago, and the tires are bald, the AC doesn't blow cold anymore, and the engine is kind of crappy now. I demand a new car." I really wonder how many people who work in the car industry have to deal with that. Like, I would not be shocked if people come with that idea. Like, to me, it's also like, you buy an iPhone and you drop it and you break the screen.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Do
That's
you
a great
presume
example.
that Apple owes you a brand new screen?
Oh, I spent $1,000 on this phone. I chose not to get a warranty on it, but I dropped it, and that's, you got to replace it because I spent $1,000 on it. Like, that's ridiculous.
There's got to be a lot of rude awakening conversations at the Genius bar with that one.
Apple does not care.
Yeah, Apple's like, yeah, no problem. That'll be $700 to fix. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You can go somewhere else if you want.
Right. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
You guys.
Not to say that we want the experience that you have with the jeans to be positive, and we do things to make that happen.
Yes.
Not necessarily like we're not working like.
No.
Like it's your fault,
Yeah. We definitely try to find a.
But there's a limit.
Yeah, there's definitely a limit. Like, I will say that like. Yeah, within a certain amount of time, if you have a problem that is not our fault, we definitely try our best to, find a way for you. Yeah. Because regardless, like maybe it's your first pair of raw jeans and hey, thank you for subscribing, Roberto. Maybe it's your first pair of raw denim jeans, or maybe it's your first pair of raw denim jeans from us. Sometimes you're working your way. You're figuring things out. Maybe you didn't get the right size. Maybe, whatever it is. I want your experience with us to be a good experience. And so, we'll, if we can, and if it's reasonable, we'll try and find a way to accommodate, whatever the situation is. But, yeah. It's, we're normal people, and especially if you ask us nicely, if it's 100% your fault, and you say something like that, like, hey, I know it's my fault. I'm just really hoping because I want to enjoy these jeans for a long time. I'm giving you the pro tip, by the way, guys. Definitely lie to me. Just come at me with, asking for some compassion, and you're going to get your way. Yeah. I promise you, if you do that with us, you do that with anybody, the chances of you getting your way is a lot higher than you steamrolling a situation and then not getting your way, because you're just going to get yourself upset and everybody else upset in the process. Yeah. All right. Pi writes, would the Elephant 11 be uncomfortable in the Texas heat?
That's such a subjective thing.
Yeah.
So we can't say yes or no, but compared to typical pair of jeans, it's like wearing two of them.
I wore the Raw Cotton Slubs 16-ounce denim all summer here in Japan last year. I have to say that I'm better with heavier weight bottoms than a lot of layers on top. So I'm generally not, like, if it's a hot day and I'm wearing like heavier thick jeans, it's really not so much of a problem for me. Especially if you're wearing them a little bit looser.
Yeah, like I think we talked about this, but like, the weight has less to do with uncomfortable and heat than how it fits. Like if it's paint it on, like if it's really on your body, even if it's 12 ounce, it could get really uncomfortable in the summer heat. Whereas like if you wear it a little bit loose, even if it's a heavyweight denim, you will feel the difference.
Yeah.
Bigger difference.
Sheen, I don't know how to say that. Pi, he writes in response to Pi, I wear mine in the summer heat, but it's a personal tolerance. Right. So if you're already wearing like 13, 14, 15 ounce denim in the heat, I don't think 20 is going to be that much of a stretch for you. But size accordingly, maybe cuff them up short, let some air flow in there, and then maybe just pair it up with a good white tee or something like that to stay cool. Stufu for free also writes in response to Pi, looser fits work well in the Texas heat. My school was evacuated today, and I stayed 4 hours outside in the Texas sun.
Jeez.
Strong guys for the win.
Jeez.
All right.
That sounds fun.
Right. There was a couple of questions. Sorry, I'm going to try and find it. I think there's some up here that I missed that were good. Okay. All right, maybe I missed it. Go ahead.
Somebody was asking about Supima. If we're gonna do 100% Supima jeans.
Okay.
Or like Supima with brown fox or fox fiber kind of thing. We are working on another brown weft.
Right.
So that one's coming for fall. So the warp, I think it's just organic cotton. It's not necessarily a Supima.
Right.
But so that one's like already on the schedule.
Yes.
And I think we're maybe doing a little bit more fox oriented things in near future.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So definitely watch out for that. We'll keep you guys posted with the fox fiber stuff updates. But yeah, this is a cotton that we plan on using a lot more of. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cheddar Buttersworth. I have a 21 ounce pair and I gave up over the summer. I'll see those suckers in the winter, and I'm only in Vancouver. Right. Yeah. It definitely depends on the person. No question about that. I don't know how hot. I don't know how hot it gets in Vancouver. Probably around 30, eh? 30, eh? It's my Canadian coming out. Okay. What's going on? Is Risa gonna try the elephants in the ladies fit? Pedro writes.
I want to. So the thing is, like, the temple that I got a hold on is the canceled temple.
Oh.
So I kind of want the classic. I just don't have it, but I wanted to wear it.
Okay.
So
we'll have to get one for you.
Maybe we'll get one for me.
Although
I would definitely not wear it every day. I don't think I can do 20 ounce every day.
I think you can handle it. Okay. Pending new name. Been wearing my big slub 18 ounce only since yesterday. I live in San Antonio, Texas. My first denim over 15 ounce. I sized up from large to extra large on the jacket and 33 to 34 in the weird guys too. Loving it. Yeah, that extra room definitely makes all the difference on those hotter days. Hotter days. Also writes, pending new name, walked about 4 miles since I got them. Soaked last night, and they are breaking in fast in the triple digit heat. Fantastic. A soak and the hot summer sun to dry. That's going to do a good job there. Topher Cobra, fox fiber is beautiful stuff. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Us too. Okay. I want my muffin, right? I tried to wear my 20 ounce last week when it was 38 degrees with 80% humidity, and I wanted to die from walking across the parking lot to my car. Ontario is hell.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it is definitely hard when it's humid. Oh.
Yeah. It's it depends on the person. I mean, I've been out in Thailand in 45-degree heat and I'm dying while everyone else is like,
that's all they have all year long. So it's just like they build up the tolerance.
They definitely build up the tolerance to that heat. It's even I'm sure it's even hot for them, but just their body's reaction to it versus mine, I was just not made for that weather.
Like this year, I haven't really been out so much that like my tolerance of heat is so low this year. Like I can feel it. Like when I was younger, it was just been like, yes, it's annoying. You sweat and all that, but it's like I could walk 20 minutes, no problem. Whereas like right now, I'm just like 2 minutes.
If I'm outside, I'm like, all right, we got to dip into this convenience store for a second, get a cold drink. Okay, finish that, walk another, couple blocks, dip into the next convenience store.
Yeah.
I do have to. Another thing I love about Japan is the fact that there is a convenience store on literally every corner. So that walk, even in the winter, you can get hot drinks at the convenience store. So I have like hot canned drinks. And they're just great hand warmers. So if you need to stop, grab a drink. You got a hand warmer. You drink it. You warm up. They have canned soups, hot canned soups. Really.
And canned soups, like it used to be until recently. It used to be just corn soup, but nowadays, like I've seen like Korean cold noodle soup broth, like ramen broth in a can. Like I was like so many different options.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
I love canned soup.
Venomous Teddy writes, I miss the vending machines. Very, very convenient here as well. They're all over the place. A lot of good questions coming through. I want my muffin. We need more Naked and Famous shorts. Please, I'm on my knees asking. Well, we can make any pair of jeans, shorts over at Tate and Yoko and Naked and Famous Denim NYC. In the hemming requests, just request the inseam and we will make any pair of jeans into shorts. I would recommend go to the sales section. There's a lot of great deals in the sales section and find something that you like. And for no extra charge, we will make it shorts.
Yeah.
And you got a great pair of shorts that way.
And it seems a little wasteful, but you get the fabric scraps and maybe you can, do something with it.
Yeah.
Patch it up.
Milo 17. In high school, ice caps brought me through the heat. Yes, ice caps. Something tells me you are from Canada.
I did not know about ice caps until I moved to Montreal.
Yeah, that's does anyone else use the term ice cap?
And it's not even cappuccino.
Yeah.
I don't know why you call it ice caps.
I don't know.
It's just like a frappuccino.
Yeah. Milo, London, Ontario. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a Tim Hortons. I think they invented the term and the ice cap. I used to drink a lot of those also when I was a teenager. Yeah. That was my introduction into coffee.
It's barely coffee.
Yeah, it's barely coffee.
It's like it sounds like an iced cappuccino.
Yeah.
And you picture a cappuccino that is cold, maybe, but no. This is a.
Yeah, Milo writes, it's brown caffeine slush. Yeah, it's like a slushy. It's basically a Slurpee with coffee taste, kind of.
It's basically a frappuccino that has very little coffee in it.
Yeah.
Although I think frappuccino has very little coffee in it.
Pending New Name writes, I thought ice cap was a hat just now. Yeah.
Oh.
Ice cap. Yeah. Venom Steady, I haven't had one in ages. Neither have I. Yeah.
I mean, when you get to a certain age.
Venom Steady, I think most people moved on from ice caps nowadays. No, I haven't had one in ages. Yeah, maybe just a regular iced coffee is the way to go for most folks.
I'm glad. Yeah. Because otherwise, it's diabetes central.
Right. Pending New Name. We are very dry in Texas this year, but humid and hot is usual. But our winters have been getting colder the past few years. Or rather, we get freak cold snaps. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for that crazy weather that we got these days. It'll be 80 degrees Fahrenheit out, and I'm drinking hot coffee. I haven't had a hot coffee in a while. That's not true. I had some on the airplane and in the lounge the other day. But lately, it's just been all iced coffees.
But sometimes when you're inside, like it gets really cold, so I do drink hot coffee sometimes.
The new treat is a cold brew. Insane amounts of caffeine. A large Tim's cold brew is 350 milligrams
of caffeine.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. Just saying, it's a Canadian institution. This Tim Hortons.
I have to say, I don't miss it.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Never really.
There's nothing appealing about Tim Hortons, except for the fact that they are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their strongest suit is that they are wherever you are, there is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like if you're on the highway, every exit there's a Tim Hortons. Like every shopping mall, every plaza there is a Tim Hortons. You can't miss it. And like the other day Risa and I, we were at a Japanese Kissaten here, like an old school cafe. I think we talked about it before, some previous streams, but like they're very old. They look like they were made in the 70s and 80s, and this one probably definitely was. Mm-hmm. And the furniture and the atmosphere is very classical. You can still smoke inside. We don't smoke, but you can. And it was like we had a waffle with ice cream and some jam and I had a siphon filtered coffee, hot, and it was like 800 yen and serviced to my table. The lady brought it. She poured the siphon filtered coffee. For those people who don't know what a siphon filter coffee is, let me just pull it up.
It's a good value.
So coffee made in one of these. So just like this, I don't think that there's any particular benefit here and there, but it is kind of a neat way to make coffee. It looks very scientific.
Yeah, and clearly it's not like you're just...
It's not like you make one giant pot. Yeah. She made a cup specifically to order for me. The whole thing cost 800 yen for me, and same thing for Risa. Service to the table, and with cutlery and everything. And I'm like, what do you get for $8 at Tim Hortons? You get a coffee and a donut and a squished bagel.
But you have to wait in line and receive it.
Yeah.
Like they don't give you a cup of water. They don't give you a wet towel to wipe your hands with. They don't. I mean, they give you a seat, but you have to get it yourself.
Right.
You probably have to clean it yourself soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. David Dixon, sounds like Tim Hortons is the Canadian Dunkin' Donuts. I would say yes, it is most comparable to Dunkin' Donuts, but I do find that the Dunkin' menu in terms of variety of donut flavors and value, I think, is a lot higher.
But Dunkin' Donuts don't really do like sandwiches and soups and all that like meal things. Maybe. Whereas Tim Hortons does.
They have
meals.
like sandwiches and things. Yeah, they're not amazing. BD. Well, they're here, so the new Tim's marketing slogan. That's it.
Exactly.
It's just like
that's not a bad strategy, to be fair.
Yeah, it's fair, but I don't think any Canadian or anybody's like gung ho like. Man, like every now and then, like Costco here in Japan will have like Tim Hortons coffee, and I'm like, nobody wants this. Like, no, who buys this stuff, right? Like, it's like if I didn't have to have it, I don't want it.
I think it's targeted towards people who don't know
Tim
Hortons.
Yeah.
Also, maybe nostalgic Canadians.
Right.
They might.
Maybe. Yeah. BD, I'm Canadian, and Dunkin' is far above Tim's. I wholeheartedly agree. Dunkin' Donuts is far beyond the quality of Tim Hortons. Yeah, it's Tim Hortons is very. Again, it's here. It's here. It's food. It's acceptable. Yeah, but that's it. Nobody's like, oh man, I really need to get that Tim Hortons sandwich or soup or whatever. Like nobody's ever been like, that's the one for me.
But it's like, how hard could it be? They have a lot of money.
But it doesn't matter. They have the whole market. That's the thing. They have no competition, and second cup is like the other Canadian like chain,
Yeah.
which is like I don't even know if they're even close to number 2, but like.
But I also
Yeah.
don't know why like McDonald's is not like killing Tim Hortons.
I think they are.
business.
I think they're doing a big chunk. They're taking a big chunk of that Tim Hortons business. That McCafe stuff. Yeah. BD. Tim's is the Sbarro of coffee. Tim's is the Sbarros of coffee.
I've never had Sbarros.
I have in New York.
Like Michael style.
Absolutely. Every time I see that Michael Scott, you gotta get a New York slice. Yeah. French cruller from Dunkin' is the Pedro. French cruller from Dunkin' or the pumpkin when it's available. Yeah. I just got some pumpkin spiced Frosted Flakes from Target in America. I brought some back with me. I saw some pumpkin spice cereals and I'm like, yes, it's time.
Good time.
The fall. Like when I see that, I'm like, the fall is here. And so I'm just hoping for the fall.
Yeah, it's been a long summer. But we, next week maybe if we have time, we should go get that Mr. Donut that
Right.
has curry
and
within the donut. It's shaped like a donut with a hole.
yeah,
But inside where like they put cream usually,
Yeah.
they put curry in it.
yeah, like a beef curry.
Yeah. So
we got to try
That's
that.
a new thing
Yeah.
at Mr. Donut.
So it's like a meal donut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Venomous Teddy, I'm not a flannel guy, but that real indigo flannel on Tate and Yoko is trying to turn me. If you haven't got it, get it. That is a great flannel to own. Absolutely great
It's
flannel
on
to
sale?
own. And it's on sale. Yeah, the
Yeah.
real indigo, it's like half price. It's crazy. Ian M. Pumpkin is already out in the US and it's annoying. It's just now August. That's true, but it'll also be September sooner than you know it. You got to be really ahead of. When I worked at Holt Renfrew, Christmas decorations went up November 1st. November 1st, like Halloween was over.
Yeah.
November 1st, everything was going up, and like by the second or third, like Christmas music was playing, and people were annoyed. But I'm like, once November 1st is here, it's like 6 or 7 weeks to Christmas. It's not that long.
It's a long time
Yeah.
to just
It's not that.
anticipate Christmas, to be honest. It's not the season yet. So there's only 52 weeks in the year.
Yeah,
like-
but people have a lot of shopping to do for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and
like shopping wise, it's fine, but like
Yeah.
enjoying the season, like enjoying the like anticipation wise, I think it's way too long.
no, I think it's because I feel like it's as soon as December 26th hits, like it's so depressing because I like all the Christmas stuff, and then it's gone, and then we have winter for like the next 5 months.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We need to move
Yeah.
the Christmas down a little.
Move Christmas somewhere in the middle of the winter, so we got more
like
time to build up
end
to
of
it.
January or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then you only have like a month of winter left after that.
Right. I want my muffin. Pumpkin season is best season. The local Walmarts have Christmas stuff up already. We haven't even had spooky seasons. Stop. Well, if you have Christmas up before Halloween, that's not right. That's not right. Venom Teddy, for how big a deal Christmas is in Canada and America, it's actually not that long when you put it in perspective. It's true. It's over way too fast. I want it to last forever.
But it just, I don't know. It's like, because it's so long, like 6-7 weeks, like you get like used to it. You get used to the idea, and it's just like kind of like, oh, is it not Christmas yet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What about a haunted Christmas double whammy? There you go. Watch Black Christmas. It's a Christmas horror movie. Yeah, Venom Steady. Some people put themselves into debt every year over Christmas. Do not do that. It's bad. It's a bad practice.
For like to give people gifts
Yeah.
or to enjoy it yourself? Because I think there's a big difference there. You shouldn't be in debt for other people. You shouldn't be in debt anyways, but if you have to,
Yeah, don't do it
You
over
enjoy
Christmas
it.
presents.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're gonna go into debt, you might as well be the one enjoying it. But yeah, don't go into debt over Christmas presents. You can certainly people will understand if you can scale back your gifts and whatnot. Okay. Red 75, I heard the shop I work for are getting Christmas cards next week. I mean, it's on. If
That's
you're
way too early.
It's
Don't you think?
I mean, they'll be there. The thing is, like, there are some people who are just mega prepared, and they're like, I want to get this now. I want to get it over with. I would just want to be ready for everything.
And you do this every year. That's a long time to prepare for like a thing that happens every year.
Yeah.
It's one thing to prepare for your wedding that early, but like.
Yeah. But you know what? We live in a time where everything is accessible always. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just it. Okay, let's hop into snack time because we actually have a good one, an interesting one rather. We found some old school soda. So Risa's just gonna grab it from the refrigerator and we're gonna give it a try and we're gonna give you our thoughts and opinions on this beverage. You know, one thing that I like about Japan, among many things, is that there's a lot of bottled drinks still in glass that you can find. And, yeah, sometimes they just hold on to these old school type of products. And we found this one.
This one is a very old school. This actually, I haven't seen it. I haven't tried it. This one apparently is the
Asahi makes this? Sapporo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But like it's like a Pepsi of this type of drink. There's the Coke version of it.
Oh, okay.
Everybody knows the Coke version of it. So I was like, because we got this from at our local liquor store.
Yeah.
And it's just, they carry a lot of old school things. And I've never seen this before.
I really like this logo.
Yeah.
Just old school looking.
So I asked him, what is this? Like, it just looks so old and cool.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, like the Coke version of it's called Baileys. But like they're kind of having a production problems. So like, the secondary is now on the market. But people who buy this are ramen restaurants and funeral homes, he said. Because this is like, I don't know, 200 milliliter. So it's like one serving. Because if you give the majority of convenience drinks are like either 350 or 500. And if you have a 500 milliliter drink, like you're not going to finish it with one sitting.
Right.
Which is what, ramen shop and funeral homes, you just have one drink. You don't have, you're not there for an hour.
Right.
So that's why this size exists, apparently. So it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Now I have...
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
Nailed it. All right, here you go.
What does it say in the bottle? You can satisfy not only your thirst, but your heart with it. With this.
I like that. What a great message. Hopefully you can see that there. All right, so that's one full bottle here. I don't know if this is soda or not. You said it was juice.
It's not carbonated, but it's also not juice.
It's not juice.
It's like watered down.
It's like watered down juice.
Orange juice.
You know what this is? I haven't seen these in forever. But like, it was like these fountain drinks that would have juice in them. Mm-hmm. There was like these clear kind of like rectangular plastic type things. Do you remember seeing those when you were a kid? And like the juice would just kind of like wash up against the edges.
I can picture it. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
The Moor Tang. I don't know what Tang tastes like. But it's like orange drink.
Orange drink. Yeah, it's not orange juice. It's orange.
Yeah, that's as best as I can explain this. It's not soda.
Yeah, I used to think Baileys.
Orange Julius. Not really Orange Julius. Tang vibes. Maybe High C Tang. I haven't...
High C.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. High C.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's kind of... It's certainly refreshing. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we putting this?
Wasn't this? I thought this was American what is it? Barley's.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
No?
Yeah.
Interesting. It sounds very
Yeah.
American.
This is getting a out of 10, 7-1. Yeah. Moderate. Like I would get this again. I'd have no problem. Like if I saw this, I'd get it, right?
Yeah.
You know,
but this is like it definitely makes sense because like funeral homes funeral homes in Japan, it's mostly that they would sit there while they
cremate.
Prepare to cremate. So there's like a part that you do beforehand and the part you do afterwards. So like there's a waiting time, and it does definitely like make me feel because like there's always kids in that situation. And as a kid who just wait around for no reason at all with your family members, it's just like you drink this.
Yeah.
It doesn't offend you, but it's also not something that I was like, oh my god, I really want that drink.
Right. Yeah, this is a very non-offensive drink. Anybody can have it. Nobody's gonna be like, this is gross. Nobody's offended by carbonation. This is a fine drink.
Yeah, I think there's no carbonation because it's meant for kids and like old people.
Yeah. Venomous Teddy, was it the last stream with the beef tongue soda? I think it was 2 streams ago.
Yeah, that was gross.
That was gross.
I would never do
that
again.
That was the worst rank.
That was.
We've had a 0.1. Yeah. E&M, we need a 10 out of 10 snack time.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever have that.
Yeah. There can never be a 10 because I don't believe in giving 10s.
Yeah, nothing is perfect because that means like
nothing
it's
could
never
be better.
Gonna get better.
Yeah. That's why I will never hand out a 10. I don't believe in it, and I think the people who hand out 10s stop handing them out. That's 5 out of 5, 10 out of... Look, 5 out of 5 on a Google review is not the same as like this is a 10 out of 10 meal. Okay, Google review of a restaurant 5 out of 5 just means like it was fine. You know what I mean? Like, this was... expectation was met.
When you do lower than that, it's 4, and it's 20% less.
Yeah.
And that's, like, that needs to have an issue.
Right. But it's like, these chips are a 10 out of 10. I'm like, really? Nothing is going to be better than these chips ever? So... Yeah, I have high snack standards. Hopefully we'll find something that's up there in the 9s. I don't think I've ever been up there yet. But one day
I feel
we will
like
be.
9s have already, like, we know about 9s already. It's in our, like...
Yeah, like Ruffles all dressed. That's a 9 category potato chip.
I think for you, maybe the Doritos something.
Sweet chili heat is up there. That's a high ranking potato chip.
To me, Caramucho is the 9.
There you go. All right. Tofu Cobra, it won't offend you would be a great tagline. That's it. It won't offend you.
There's a lot of taglines coming out of this tree.
Coca-Cola, though, Bahzad, not a 10. Coca-Cola is not a 10.
Question. It's not?
No. It's up there. It is a high 9 because it is the most perfect soda that could ever have existed. But... sometimes I like vanilla Coke more than I like regular Coke. Sometimes I want cherry Coke. And so...
yeah, but Coke, I feel like it makes sense if you put 10 on it because it's not just the taste. It's like the whole package. And nothing will be better. Like, not that I like Coke, but like nothing will replace that. Nothing will be like...
Coke has had different... iterations over the decades.
Right, but Coke as a existence is a 10 out of 10, no?
No. Because again, if there's other flavors of Coke, sometimes I like them more than regular Coke. Like I really like vanilla Coke. I really like cherry Coke.
But there's a value in having the Coke, including the brand and, your memories. I don't know.
Yeah. Does Coke in Japan use real sugar or high fructose corn syrup? I don't know.
I don't think it's the real sugar.
Hold on. Let me go. I have a bottle of it in the fridge. We'll know in a second.
Yeah, like they say Mexican Coke is sugar. Is American Coke sugar? No, right? I don't know. I don't drink Coke. Pepsi is better. Pepsi is the better cola. I'm sorry, I will die on this hill. Yeah, some people, I don't... If I have to choose, I think I would choose Coke. Because Pepsi is a little bit more medicine-y.
Okay, well this bottle has none of the ingredients listed.
Oh, I'm sure it is here. Yeah, no, it's sugar and what do you call it? The
corn syrup?
Is it corn syrup? This is katobudoto.
I don't know.
It's like it's not a sugar, but
Okay.
it does have sugar on it too.
Oh.
So it's maybe a mix.
Maybe a mix. So there you have it. And we got the old school bottle here. Glass bottles. That's the way you want to enjoy soda. That's all I can say. Coke in a bottle is better than Coke in a can and better than Coke in a plastic bottle. Coke in a glass bottle is the best flavor of Coke.
I think anything in glass bottle is the best.
Yeah, but there is a taste difference. There is a taste difference.
There's a taste difference in like canned beer and
Bottled.
glass beer.
Yeah. American Coke uses corn syrup, although you can sometimes find real sugar Coke in stores. Yeah, I think there's a kosher Coke in America that uses real sugar also.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
high fructose
I see.
corn syrup. Yeah.
This is a topic that's going all the way on off-topic land. Kosher Coke. It's for Passover.
Because like corn syrup is.
There's some. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they do have a version kosher for Passover. So like a yellow top one.
Interesting.
So there is that. So watch out for that one if you want to get the sugar one. Look for the kosher version. Maybe at your local kosher deli. There you go. And so now we've learned everything there needs to be learned about Raw Denim for the week. We answered your questions. Some great previews. Definitely check out the This Week at Tate and Yoko video, the new series that we've got on our YouTube channel. We'll try to find some more snacks for next week's snack time. Everybody, we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a heck of a lot of fun. We'll be back again next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on our YouTube channel. Be nice to yourselves. Be nice to somebody else. And we'll see you here next time. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.